Yo, what's up, everybody? Hope everybody's having a really nice, peaceful Saturday. Hopefully, the solo queue grinds are good for everybody. And, glad I could join you. We have a replay of yesterday's series. Was unfortunately not able to go over this live. I had a scrim during that same time, and, yeah, figured I'd get a few more people tuning in on a Saturday afternoon. So, hopefully, you guys have enough time to come and join this. I know anytime Insane Bananas plays, they cook up some really wild stuff, and I absolutely have the utmost respect for this team for doing that. Uh, Especially coming from their jungler Flame Dog, he just has a unique champion pool. So we'll see what he ends up coming up with for this series against what was our number either one or two in the power rankings from week one. TK Gamers has a couple returning members from the championship squad last split. And yeah, so we're gonna go over here. War Initiate was super nice enough to send me the draft, so I'll go over the draft here. So B1 Yumi. Okay, I've seen this one before. I'm not gonna spoil it because I was involved in that game where I seen this strategy debut, and I again really interesting strategy. But B1 Yumi and then TK Gamers ends up flexing or taking away the Kane. So you have Kane Ezreal coming out on red side. So two champions that have not been played. The split, I believe, in Yumi and Kane, and then blue side responds with Zeres and Zhao. Okay. Zenzel typically does like a lot of enchanters. Some would argue that he's at his most broken state with double enchanters. So, and then TK responds with Nautilus, just good lockdown CC. Everything else. See the bands here at the bottom. Looks like there's quite a few top lane bands. You have one, two, three, four, five. You could argue six, seven, seven top lane bands overall. And then Insane Banana comes out with this Talon pick, which is another first timer for the league here. It's just something you just don't traditionally see with them. Yeah. And then TK responds, or they go Talon Braum after TK shows Victor fourth pick. Victor, I I really dislike how just stupid this champion is. He's like Hui, but a touch worse. He doesn't have the tools of Hui, but the fact that he's a hyper scaler, he's also like a lane bully for anybody else that wants to try and match scaling for scaling. And he's got really solid zone control, not the greatest, but not the worst either. And then TK responds with Maokai, so we see a either a Maokai or Nautilus top. Sorry, no, yeah, either solo lane Maokai or Nautilus. The other one going support with Kane jungle here. So really interesting draft overall. Uh, Looking at the side of Insane Bananas, Talon could easily go into a solo lane or go jungle. I would probably say it's a solo lane because Xin Zhao likes the jungle. I haven't seen a solo lane Xin Zhao in quite a while here. But yeah, that's where we're at right now. Let's go ahead and switch over to the load up screen, and oh, look at here. Of course, with Insane Banana, I have to be wrong. It is a solo lane Xin Zhao with no flash, by the way, into Maokai. So, just let the cooking begin. Talon with first strike. You see Braum in the mid lane here. Yumi with smite. I again not gonna spoil how this goes, but double smite on the side of Insane Banana with Talon this time because Poke Archer ended up taking the cane away. Be curious to see if this cane goes blue or red. I think it has to be red because I don't think blue ever gets through the Braum peeling and tankiness. Like he gives armor over to Zeri with the W. And then Yuumi exhaust as well. So, let's see what ends up happening on this game. Conquer on Xin Zhao. Interesting. Double exhaust on the side of Insane Banana as well.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
Hold on, I'm slightly lagging here for just a hot second. Tab out, make sure there's nothing on my end. Oh, alright. We see a really solid level 1 invade coming in here from the side of TK Gamers. They took the red side this game 1. They end up taking this ward down. You see War Initiate with the support item here, so it is a support Braum and Yuumi mid. I would suspect Yuumi will most likely will take over some CSing, but once he gets experience, it's going to be a funnel cane strat. Really good awareness by Insane Banana. They really didn't have... Well, they did have vision of them walking through, so got out very cleanly. But now they're going back in for a re-invade. Yuumi Q is going to end up slowing Kane here. And then exhaust for a flash. But here's Victor getting pushed out of lane now. And now here's an Ignite going over. And we see Insane Bananas taking this first blood onto Xin Zhao here on a delay invade. But now it's going to end up being another 3v3. Talon did not get the full camp, so no level 2. But he just now got level 2. So this is going to end up, being a funnel Talon here. Off of this level 1 here. All in all, really solid start here from Insane Banana. I think this Yuumi, okay, yeah, she had to detach and go mid, potentially. Well, like Yuumi is going to get poked out and zoned by Victor, so maybe it's just better for her to hang on with the Talon here. See, she's about halfway to level 2. We see some trading here in the bot lane. We see a really, really big trade here. Relentless ended up having to flash out. We got the stun coming out here from the Braum passive. And Crackler and War Initiate pushing back. Bori and Relentless. Nice E by War to block a majority of this damage. Nice hook coming out of Relentless here. Nice flash by Bori here to knock out Crackler. So, threesomes down for bot lane of TK Gamers to make this happen. We see Yuumi finally starting to get some of the experience from mid. See where if Talon comes to grab some of the CS after the scuttle. It's still a respectable wave for this Yuumi to grab here. Now level 2. But we see Talon already starting to get a jump start ahead on the CSing here. Zinzel still hasn't backed after that level 1. See, the same banana has about a 200, yeah, about 200 gold lead. You see, Thresh all day on this Yuumi mid lane. It's getting traded on very, very heavily. Ends up having to smite the minion, actually. Clever. We see Talon kind of making a move behind his Victor right now. But Kane's ends up coming in here. Oh! Big punish here by Victor to knock out Yuumi. And that's a double kill going over to Standby's Victor. Do not want to get Victor accelerated. That champion is nutty right now. Oh! And a nice interrupt by Noob, but then he ended up trying to dive it. Then Maokai passive, plus Twisted Advance, and then the Q back to the turret. Noob ends up getting taken out there. And this Victor's now so far ahead that Talon can't even walk up with the Yuumi. And we see red team ends up taking the first Drake, which ends up being an Ocean. Good exhaust there by Yuumi during the Victor ult as the top laners were coming down. But I think at this point CC Star's got enough of a lead that he's not too worried about Zen. Nice hook coming out by Relentless here. Nice exhaust going onto the Ezreal here, and we see the fight here between both bot laners. War ends up getting the better end of that trade with Crackler. But Bori on this Ezreal is very proficient in all these AD carries, so. Nice block by the Braum off the Ezreal ult. See a massive gold lead here in the solo laners, coming out for TK Gamers. And Talon does have a respectable 20 CS lead over Kane, but they don't have anything to really move or get to this Victor. Nice flash forward and ult here by Flame Dog's Talon. A nice response flash by Standby here. This I really like the rune choice here by Standby, knowing that he's never ever going to trade in lanes, so bone plating actually has such an insane amount of value. I mean, unless Yuumi pokes it off with a Q, there's nothing that really stops it. I like how Maokai just waited for that strike to wear off for him to use the third hit to then trade. Now I think this is where this strategy is going to really start to, I think, take off a little bit. The Talon's clearing his camps quick enough that he can get to the mid lane push. But Victor doesn't mind like sitting back and playing the scaling war either. We see a brutalizer coming out by Kane. This might actually be like a blue Kane. You can't really see how close he is to form on Spectator. But the Talon's already at first item, 100 CS by 10 minutes, so it's 10 CS a minute by the jungler. I see some trading here in the top lane. I don't think there's going to be much to this trading. We see TK Gamer setting up here for the second dragon, which is going to be an air drake here. I think taking that air drake away from a roaming strat like Talon Yuumi is pretty massive. Like, he just doesn't care about this drake. He's looking at right now. He's looking at Victor. But Nautilus was there to help Victor. We see some of the Yuumi healing and shielding coming out, but Nautilus Ignite plus a flash auto ends up taking down Talon here. All in all, it's about a 2,500 gold lead coming out for the side of TK Gamers. You see Nautilus roaming up top here, but you see an Ignite coming out by Zen Zhao onto Maokai here. And Maokai ends up playing the game with the passive here. Oh, and Noob ends up getting CC stars Maokai here. And here comes the rest of the team. So now this ends up being a 2v2. We see an Ezreal ult coming. Oh, and Bori with the Ezreal ult from downtown here. Oh, we see Talon going in. Oh, nice flash by Poke Archer here. But now we see Victor caught out here after Braum rotated up for these grubs as well. So shutdown going over to this Talon here. So this Talon ends up getting 2 kills and 3 overall for the side of Insane Banana here. And now this ends up shaving about 1,000 gold off of this this gold lead that TK had.
Turret plating will fall soon.
Big kind of shift in momentum here. The Talon's coming out. See, does he end up? He doesn't end up taking out Bori here. He got exhausted by Bori. And then Bori also burned the flash to get away. But that was also CC Star's teleport on this Maokai here. So that gives Noob a chance to potentially push this wave in, which Victor's already rotating up to collect it. And you see Poke Archers pushing in mid wave. So TK doing a pretty good job off these rotations, responding to it. Really curious to see what form uh, Kane's gonna go. It's like I've seen lethality with red Kane, obviously lethality with blue Kane. I've seen even bruiser blue Kane. So there's a lot of different adaptations Kane players have made on the builds and what forms. But judging from the item build, I would think blue. We'll see. This Victor's pretty massive right now. I like the fact that he went tier Leandries. He's just waiting for the tier to stack up. We see the unending despair coming out from Maokai since it is 1, 2, 3. If you count Yumi as 4, like 4 melees. So I really like the item choice there by CC Star. Big fight coming out here. War initiates, ends up starting this fight with a Braum ult. But now we also see Flame Dog invading Poke Archer here. But we see going back to the fight here in the bot lane. We see Crackler trying to do his best to take out Ezreal and does get that shutdown. So Victor Roam down bot to clean up this fight, but not before Crackler Ace gets that shutdown off the Ezreal here. So I think that's a pretty respectable attempt to shut down to get over to the late game hyper carry. Even though this team comp's like really wonky and the strat is very interesting with like the Yumi with Smite, Funnel, Talon, I think it's still respectable that like even if the Talon does get shut down a little bit, you've got stuff like Xin Zhao, you've got stuff like Zeri to also be really enabled with the Yumi. See Yumi going redemption first item here. But we still see that Poke Archer on this Kane. I don't think has gotten his form yet. No. So, but we see TK Gamers trying to take away this Kimtech Drake, which Flame Dog doesn't look like he has any aspirations of going after it. Kind of curious what made him pick the Xin Zhao here from the top side. Like I understand he works well with double enchanters, but I just don't know if this is enough beef for Zeri to sit behind and be able to chop down some of these beefier members. We see a TP coming out from Victor here after they're trying to make a top lane play. Redemption comes out here. Talon ends up using his ult, Yumi Redemption to get out here. And we have a 5v5 up here in the top lane. As everybody just responded to this fight. It ends up being a double kill going over to Bori as Xin Zhao and Braum end up falling here. And TK's going to use this as an opportunity to get the Rift Herald as well. Poke Archer still not have his... He does not have his form? Oh no, I think that is blue form, Kane. Sorry, that I haven't really seen that skin that much. See, Crackler doing his best to try and kite around this fight, but he ends up having to back out. And Bori ends up getting on a killing spree here. Now 5-1 on this Ezreal. We see Xin Zhao trying to take out this Maokai, but I think he's never going to have enough damage to do this. But we see Flame Dog ends up taking out Relentless in the aftermath of that fight. Yeah, Xin Zhao, you're never ever going to win this. Not without Blade of the Rune King. Talon's CS is absolutely insane right now. 220. He's plus, what, 12? Yeah, 12 to 14 CS a minute. So, I would expect him to have his third item on this next back here. Oh no, Kane didn't have his form. Now he has his red form. So Kane going red. Like, I honestly don't think either one of these two die, because Xin Zhao gets health with on hit, but Maokai is just draining him with unending. But we have a big fight coming up here in the top lane. We see the continued fight in the bot lane. We see Talon trying to go after this back line here. We see the redemption coming out by Yuumi. Oh, Xin Zhao actually wins that duo down below. Okay, that was unexpected. So it ends up being a cross map 1-for-1 here. We see Victor TP'd bot lane. Oh, this he was shocked at the burst coming out of Xin Zhao there. Xin Zhao almost takes out Victor. But now we see Crackler flashing in, just trying to get to Bori here. And that ends up being a double kill over for Kane, as Bori did a very nice job kiting out that fight. And this is going to end up being Soul Dragon for the side of TK Gamers here, as they have a 15-8 kill advantage, and they're up about 7,000 gold here at the 23-minute mark. I think stacking those Chemtech Drakes would have been so good for Insane Banana with all the shielding and healing coming out of Yuumi. We see Victor's on 2 items, full Seraph Shield completed, and the Seekers towards Zanya, so Talon really can't target Victor anymore. I don't know who this Talon goes after. I think you got Frozen Heart completed on Ezreal. Oh, massive pull coming out of Relentless here to stop Talon from going over the wall there. And look at the Victor ult. This looks like a potential end to angle here from TK. Well, they'll probably get inhib and then go after Baron. Looks like they're looking for the end here. This could be interesting. Only three, but there's ends up being a big hook coming out, catching Crackler. War tried to do all he could to stop that redemption coming down by Yuumi, but it just ends up being too much tank coming out of the side of TK Gamers. TK Gamers ends up taking this first game on just shy of a 10,000 gold lead. Kench Soul, 20 kills to 8. And let's go over here to the graph. So, Flame Dog 253 CS on a 25-minute game is absolutely insane for a jungler. But it looks like TK Gamers had just a little bit better like response to this Yuumi funnel jungle strat here. But still a really solid showing here. Alright. Let's go ahead and go to the draft of game 2. Wow, I am loading this up. So we see looks like Insane Bananas took blue side again here, and you see the adaptation. They TK Gamers ended up banning this Yuumi. He's like, nope, get this out of here. We want to see you guys face straight up. And we see Cassante, York, and Victor all getting on the ban list for Insane Banana, which I think, respectable bans. York is interesting, but I assume that's because CC Star plays it. I think he got banned on it quite a bit last split as well. So we see the Mbessa come out here. Mbessa kind of being a flex pick for insane Banana, since Flame Dog has already shown that he has no issues playing it. And actually, I think Mbessa, not the greatest jungler, but is low key like good in some spots here. And we see a Smolder Poppy coming out. Seraphine Lux in response here. So Seraphine, a respectable mid laner as well. So we'll see where that ends up going. And I like the Blitzcrank in response, seeing that it's Jinx Seraphine. Even in Bessa, like if you pull her in and she W shields, Blitzcrank ult destroys that shield. So Blitzcrank's still a pretty decent pick here. See a couple of ADC and top lane bans coming out. And then Riven ends up being the R4 coming out here. So that's interesting. I think not quite sure what the thought is with the Riven here. If CC Star feels like he can play it into anything that noob can throw at him or not. But we see Mordekaiser and then Nautilus coming out here, which Nautilus could either go to the support role or go mid, as we've seen War Initiate really favor this Nautilus. He even favored it in top lane last split. And then rounding it out with the Sylas, which I actually really do like the Sylas here. He's got a couple of really solid ults. Even in Bessa ult gives him access to the back line. And even if he and Bessa ults, he still has the rest of his dashes in the kit as well. So all in all, really solid draft from both sides here. Pretty somewhat standard. Now let's go up to our loading screen here. Oh, okay. So we see Silas on the top side and Riven in the mid lane here coming out. And that's Ignite Riven as well by Standby. So might have been something that Standby had kind of cooking up for this Nautilus mid, knowing that War has already played it, I think, twice last week. So we end up seeing how well this game goes.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
With a Blitzcrank ban, with a Blitzcrank picked, they're just 5-stacking in a brush here, seeing if they're going to invade. And I actually do like this brush here as like a counter invade, because you're a little relaxed if you don't see them in tri-brush, and then when you see all 5 there, you're like, oh shit. But Insane Bananas has got to have some of the best level 1s in the league so far. Like, it's just insane how good their level 1s have been. Just got the notification for the stream. Oh, that's unfortunate. So, we just went over game 1 War. So, it was a really well fought game by you guys. Oh wait, we see it end up being an actual lane swap here. So the Riven's gonna go top against Noob, and you see CC started playing the Silas mid here. At least they showed up for this game. Well, yeah. I think this is probably one of the better spots to play Nautilus in. I don't think TK drafted the greatest response into something as unique as your Nautilus mid. I mean, Silas does use his ult quite well, but that's a lot of CC for like Riven and Silas to get through. We have a trade up here by Standby and Noob. We see the Blitzcrank hook go a little wide here from Relentless. So. I would kind of expect this early game to be a little quieter. I don't think Ambessa has the greatest gank, but you do have decent setup here in the mid lane. So, oh, that's a feels bad, because like I seen the theory there by Flame Dog, but that was a really nice flash by CC Star, and then really nice reactions when Flame Dog did flash back in to get the W healing. So first blood's going over to CC Star Silas here. Nice play by Standby overall. Burned both flash and ignite. I think Noob disrespected the ignite a little bit here in this top lane matchup. Like I think he was okay like playing the long game, knowing that he's got W for healing and shielding. But CC Star having this red buff here into Nautilus is going to feel amazing. Oh, nice flash by Poke Archer there to stun and then set up the Blitzcrank hook and ignite onto Crackler's Jinx, but Crackler gets out with, it has to be less than 10 HP. I'm really curious to see what build comes out for the Seraphine, because any Seraphine support I've seen builds AP, but that's also solo queue. So see some decent trading coming out of this Nautilus. Oh, nice flash by War after CC Star ends up taking aggro here. Well played. And now you've got a fresh red buff on the side of Nautilus. We see Insane Banana taking his first dragon here. So I will say, like, your guys' the Insane Banana team, like, their dragon control is really, really good. But with that being said, Poke Archer is going to use this as a second, or as an attempt to invade Flame Dog's jungle here. Get a little bit of a CS lead. But we see it ends up being a trap against Flame Dog here, as Poke Archer and CC Star end up taking them out. But we see Noob take this Riven out to Brazil. Big solo Q on the side of Noob, and he ends up taking out Standby's Riven here. And Blitz doing what he does, but gets caught in the Jinx trap here. And let's see, I think the Same Bananas bot lane showing that they're a little bit stronger right now. And then Same Bananas using this opportunity now to take the first 3 grubs, but TK looks like they're trying to posture for a fight here. Big ult coming out of War Initiates Nautilus here. He ends up knocking all 3. And nobody ends up dying for the side of Insane Banana here. And a double kill going up to Noob's Mordekaiser as well. Massive grub fight win for the side of Insane Banana. I don't quite remember if they like flashed the Nautilus ult into the rest of the team, or does it just happened that they dashed, but the Nautilus ult ends up hitting all 3 there, and because he's kind of AP Nautilus, it hurts a lot comboed with the Riptide. So after it's all said and done here at the 8-minute mark, we got about 1,000 gold lead on the side of Insane Banana, just a little less. But we see CC Star ends up trying to get one back onto War. He ends up using the slow here, but War ends up knowing that once his dash is back up, he's got to try and hook him into the turret, and CC Star ends up taking out War here. But Blitz doing his best. He gets a yank onto the Threshold A Seraphine here. Oh! That lollipop feels bad. And Standby shows up, and Riven ults Flame Dogs and Bessa here to knock him out. So, TK Gamers fighting back a little bit. They have about a 300 gold lead now. Or actually, no, the gold's about even here. So they evened up the gold lead, but we do have 3 grubs and the first Drake going over to the side of Insane Banana. And a pretty big Mordekaiser as well. So we see, it looks like War Initiates building a Hollow Radiance for his first item potentially. I like that. I know week 1 kind of favored the Roa. But we see an invade come in here. Flame Dog just getting invaded multiple times in his jungle here. But we see a big fight coming out here from Nautilus and Silas. Nautilus doing what he can to try and delay this. And his bot lane's doing what they can to help as well. Now it ends up being a 4v2. So, big turnaround for the side of TK Gamers as they get 4 off of that for none. And now what is almost a 2,000 gold lead after this fight. But you see Flame Dogs ends up ulting Poppy as Poppy tries to end up taking this red buff here. And gets him really, really low, but CC Star was still in the area. And ends up taking down Flame Dogs and Bessa. Ori might potentially be caught out here. He's by himself with Blitzcrank roaming mid. Standby fighting back. Oh. Takes him to Brazil, but tanks a boatload of turret shots here. Oh, but he ends up flashing out. And the shutdown going over to Poke Archer. I think War is happy that that hook didn't hit. And while Insane Banana kind of took over this early game with the objective control and their skirmishing, TK Gamers is starting to fight back. Let's get a smolder stack check. 89 stacks here, so he's falling behind a little bit. So, knowing that they're on the top set of grubs, they're going to continue the dragon stacking, which I do love this Mountain Drake, knowing that their team is much tankier. I mean, you have a bruiser jungle, you have a tank mid, you have a bruiser top. But Bori ends up flying ahead and burning the E here, knowing that Insane Bananas just got done with the dragon, so Bori... but we got an Embezzle coming out from Silas, so CC Star ends up diving the turret here, take out Crackler, and ends up getting a double kill off the Seraphine. And now a triple kill off of Flame Dogs and Bessa. So CC Star showing up on this roam, now 8-2 on the Silas here. Oh, and Noob just absolutely smashed Standby's Riven there. I don't think he was expecting that much damage to come out. To be honest, I wasn't either. Bori getting a couple of stacks back onto on from War Initiate here. See, after all that fighting, what's he at now? He's at 107, so still behind by about 3.5 minutes.
Turret plating will soon fall.
I see Noob trying to end up getting a plate here before the plates fall. Plate-wise, they're roughly even. Slight advantage in the top lane. About slight advantage in the bot lane as well. So we see CC Star ends up diving onto the Mbessa here. Oh, but War Initiate ends up blocking the hook, but also with War TPing in, CC Star ends up grabbing the Nautilus ult and using that against Mbessa. Which the AP ratio on that Nautilus ult is massive, so he's going to do a boatload of damage when he steals that. We see TK Gamers invading this bot side jungle here, which the bot lane of IBP just roamed to, so the bot lane ends up falling here, 2 for none off this invade. Bori ends up getting a kill as well, which is big for his hubris. And we see them continue this invade. And War ends up landing that hook on the wall, but when he Spider-Man'd, he ended up getting blocked away by Poppy W, but Bori still ends up following it up. Almost gets a kill off of it if it wasn't for War shielding. And a nice play by Flame Dog overall. This is mechanically sound there, knowing that once he takes aggro, you just Imbessa ult him and keep him in place. And he ends up getting the shutdown off of Silas here. We see an ult coming out here by Seraphine onto Poppy. Interesting flash, but he wanted to flash over to Bori. Oh, Ward just doesn't give a shit about this smolder right here. Nice flash hook over here by Relentless. Ward, this Nautilus is pretty tanky, but we see a gank up topside here. Flame Dog ends up showing up after all this commotion bot lane and ends up taking one back here. SCC Star ganks topside on the map. So, I really like this Unending Despair coming out by Noob. Like, it's 1, 2, 3, 4 melees on the side of TK Gamers, so this Unending, while also being armor against Riven, will end up playing out really well. We'll see if TK, they're posturing for a fight here on this dragon, as Insane Banana wants to try and continue this dragon sacking. But Blitzcrank ends up getting CC'd and taken down there, so Flame Dog's on a killing spree. And that also lets Jinx get excited here to mow down this dragon. And that's third Drake going over to the side of Insane Banana. The Drake stacking being absolutely clutch here this game too. But looks like TK Gamers is trying to respond here as everybody's leaving. Oh, but big Seraphine ult coming in here. Let's see if Jinx can get excited off this fight. There's one, there's two. Jinx absolutely running now this fight over with after a big 4-man Seraphine ult coming out of Thresh all day. Insane turnaround there. Wow, Flame Dog got invaded early here by TK Gamers. He's now at 6-7-4. So overall, making still a pretty solid impact on this game. Noob in the top side, 4-3 and 4-2 items. See, even forced Riven to build a Hex Drinker to survive against this Mordekaiser. And War Initiate definitely having his best showing of the split on this mid lane Nautilus. I definitely wasn't a great fan when he built Roa, but just going straight tank on this, I think he gives the team exactly what they need here. Let's check on Smolder's stacks. 178, so still fairly respectable. Should be done at about the 23-25 minute mark. Oh, but here's a hook coming out from Blitzcrank on the Crackler's Jinx here. But decent response coming back here from Insane Banana. And we see Jinx ends up getting excited off that. Why are we watching a Ward spectator? And that ends up being the bot lane on the side of TK Gamers fallen. As a 2 for nothing comes in. Flame Dog's fighting back against CC Star here. As Poke Archer just runs in towards Nautilus and gets CC'd here. Boy got a lot of stacks off that wave. While this is all happening, Noob's doing his best to get a little pressure here on the side lane. Riven ignites him on the way out. Insane Banana takes his tier 2 off of TK Gamers. We got this dragon coming up in 30 seconds. Let's see. Bori might be close. Yeah, I think in the middle of this fight he's going to have to execute first the Smolder. You see Jinx finally completes the IE here. Looks like they're trying to set up a trap if someone tries to transition over to this jungle side of this river. Oh, but they're going to end up diving here as Poke Archer ends up taking a boatload of turret shots. But we see Flame Dog diving into the backline, being a menace to the Smolder here. And the rest of the Insane Banana group just shows up. And that's a triple kill coming out for Crackler's Jinx here. And this is going to end up being Ocean Soul for Insane Banana's team comp, which I think is absolutely massive. Oh, Standby almost stole that. So, you have a tanky team comp that is even or ahead. This Ocean Soul does so much because you're helping the healing from items like Riftmaker and Unending Despair on the top side of the map, while there's shields shielding from Fimbulwinter and Nautilus shields, like you're still healing through the damage, and it's so good. I mean, any team comp likes it, don't get me wrong, but we see a steal potentially. Oh, but Crackler ends up taking it as Poke Archer boots everybody else out of this, but Bori still has to flash away here. And Crackler's using this opportunity to get excited. Wow, what a sequence and what a team fight there. There was so much that I missed out on. There was just so fast paced. Oh, but Flame Dog ends up flashing ahead here to take out Bori. And that might be an end angle coming out for Insane Banana. So Insane Bananas ends up responding really well in the TK Gamers, and they want it their way. Like, it's their drafts, their team comps. This is what they do. But we see Riven ends up diving the back line. Maybe this might not be the end angle. I thought it was. Nope, there just ends up being too much tankiness in the Ocean Soul overall coming out. An Insane Banana Posse takes game 2 with just an impressive impressive game overall as a team. 29 to 20 on the kills. They ended the game up about just shy of 7,000 gold. Really, really just solid showing by them. We're going to go to the client here and check out the graft. This noob ends up doing the most damage in the game, but followed shortly by Silas and Smolder. Smolder actually put out a boatload of damage. I didn't think he had that big of an impact. But, see the stats, see the overview. Look at the swing of the gold lead here. Like at one point they were up by 2,700, 2,500, and then they grabbed it and never looked back here. So, said really, really impressive game overall for Insane Bananas, as this series is now tied up 1-1. So, let's go ahead and look at the game 3 draft. So, we see that Insane Banana has blue side yet again, and we see the Seraphine come out. Again, could be a nice flex pick, but Thresh All Day showcased it in the bot lane, or I'm sorry, in the support role last game. Jinx Lulu coming out, and then Swain Gwen, so showing triple AP for the side of Insane Bananas here. So when I see this, I'm just thinking Mundo. Like, Mundo does not give two flying you-know-whats about AP damage or this team comp in general. Like, yes, Swain ends up going net even with him, and, like, Mundo never kills Swain, but Swain definitely never kills Mundo overall. Also, well, shouldn't have looked ahead. Yeah, there's that menace as well. So you have Aurora coming out, having, again, quite a few top lane bans. See, War initiates. Nautilus got taken out. You've seen the Yumi got banned. You've seen the Kane got banned. So some staples in the series. See Trundle, Sejuani. So the Sejuani picked R4. Trundle, Amumu response R5. Okay. So I assume this is Seraphine bot, Amumu support, Swain mid. So, and then we see Kassadin coming out. So knowing that there's literally no AD threat on this team, I think that Kassadin is picked in a absolute insane spot. Kassadin still has difficulties pushing Swain around, and Swain can actually bully Kassadin a little bit at the beginning. I haven't really played that matchup since the rework, but I know Swain can definitely pelt him with autos, definitely regen the health. He can stack up quite easily. Once Kassadin hits level 6 is when I think the lane starts to even out. But all in all, Swain doesn't really mind the Kassadin as much. But interesting draft. This will be our first Kassadin of the split. Which I think, honestly, like, that was picked in a really, really good spot. So now on to game number 3 here. Let's see. Nothing too weird. Wait a sec. That's War on a move. Is War playing support? They actually role swapped. So then who's going mid? Because, like, I've seen Thresh 80s or Thresh bot lane, which actually I think is probably his, not probably, it is his best role. Interesting. I wonder who goes mid against this Kassadin. I really think it should be Swain, but Seraphine can kind of poke him out a little bit. looks like it's going to be Thresh all day, playing the Seraphine mid, and War Initiate going bot lane as a support for Crackler. Which we've seen that in game 1, where War Initiate took the Braum and went bot lane. Oh, nice trading here, level 1 on the Lulu here. I do like this combo. Seraphine taking E is quite interesting, level 1. Crackler doing a really, really solid job here. It's already, what, 3 stacks? 4 on the swing? At 3. It's respectable level 1 in the double range here. You see the bot lane 2v2. War made the first move here, but ends up giving away first blood here to this Jinx. So this bot lane's already getting out of control here. It's really hard to damage early into Lulu. And Bori had a really good cleanse on the Ignite from War as well. Standby has this wave in a really, really good spot. Like, it's pushing to him, but not like super fast. The Seraphine also has the ability to push it with a couple Qs. Standby freezing the lane and playing the wave control game really, really well. Which I think that's what you have to do is cast it in. Crackler's still getting quite a few stacks off this bot lane here, but Jinx having a kill alongside Lulu. I think you just accelerated this Jinx quite a bit, so. That's the thing about, like, Swain specifically when it comes to the mage bot lanes. Like, if you pick something that scales against him, unless he gets off the ground with, like, ganks, it's very hard for him to, like, create his own opportunities. Especially into utility supports like Lulu. Like, his damage is just not good enough early. CC started bullying away this Gwen up in the top lane with Aurora. Ends up getting a plate off for him. There's a gank from behind by Flame Dog as they force Bori's flash out. But there might get a potential return kill here. Nope. Thresh all day ends up roaming down and getting the shield onto War Initiate. But this ends up giving a plate or two over to Kassadin. And also gives Poke Archer the ability to start up these grubs. So this game's already starting to get it pretty out of hand for the side of Insane Banana. They just have no really early game threatening out of this team comp. But Flame Dog does a good job knowing that he's going to be topside for these grubs. Ends up taking this dragon. So Ocean Drake, pretty nice here. I think overall taking that away from the TK Gamers Tahm is nice. And we see Poke Archer pinging that he's going to come up top here. Big Aurora ult coming out here. And it looks like Noob's going to find himself falling here to a gank by Poke Archer. They both end up blowing ults here, but no summoners needed. Standby's already at this point where he's not afraid of Seraphine at all. Seraphine mid, not really known of being decent in the trades unless it's against something like Immobile. Like, can set up ganks decently well. As far as like the 1v1 trading, she just pushes and pushes some more. We see also a glaring CS lead coming out of this bot lane. Nice dodge by Relentless. So, coming up here, close to 10 minutes. Wow, we see an all-in here by Noob. Oh, nice CC combo coming out of Poke Archer here. And then Noob ends up taking the kill. So, sorry, that CC starter took the kill. Noob ends up following. Flame Dog ends up meeting Poke Archer in the jungle and ults him. But it looks like Poke's going to end up getting away here. Let's see if this bot lane can create anything. You've got War on level 6 here. Jinx doesn't have like the most amount of mana. But everybody's sitting on full cooldowns. War had to flash away from the Jinx traps, so well placed by Bori. Insane trade coming out of standby here. And that's 6 Void Grubs going over to the side of Tahm Kench Gamers. But again, Flame Dog knowing that they're going to take grubs ends up getting his getting Insane Banana on the right track to stack this dragon. And that's Mountain Drake, which I think is a pretty big Drake for the most part. And Crackler goes down without even being able to Swain ult. But massive knockup on the Lulu ult, comboed onto Poke Archer while he was in the middle of everything. So that ends up being a 4 for nothing. As now this Insane Banana team is definitely feeling the pressure here. And that's a solo kill, end up going to CC Stars Aurora here. So now 9 kills to none. And what is now a 8,000 gold lead overall. I think they forgot that Crackler hadn't used his ult in the last fight, but Jinx doing what she can to space this out quite a bit. And Crackler ends up getting a shutdown from Poke Archer here, so well played, well kited out by Crackler. We see War potentially on the other side of this, making a move. Ends up landing a Q onto Relentless here. We'll see if it ends up becoming anything major. Yeah, they're trying to go after this Lulu here, which they're going to end up shutting down this Lulu. But you see CC Star is going to TP back and take out Crackler as Bori ends up taking the rest out. So that ends up being another 2 for 3 in favor of TK Gamers here.
Turret plating will soon fall.
Yeah, this insane Bananas team comp did not create the advantages that they wanted created, and the late game scaling out of Jinx, Kassadin, just got ahead, played the early game really well, and it's looking down that they almost have a 9,500 gold lead here, 14 minutes. Oof. Threshold A almost gets taken out by that Jinx ult. With no AD threat on the side of this Insane Bananas team comp, this Kassadin's going to be able to do whatever the hell he wants to do. I mean, he bought Merc Treads, so this Kassadin has no worries at all, even from the true damage of Gwen. Nice ult here as Crackler was trying to defend this mid lane turret, and Poke Archer ends up running in with his ult to CC him before Swain could ult. And we see a 1v1 here in the top lane. Oh! But Standby ends up rift walking into the turret. Oh, but we see a nice interaction here by Flame Dog on this pillar to stop the Rift Herald charge. I know you can do it on a Nivea, I've done it quite often, but it never dawned on me that Trundle could do it. And we see War Initiate trying to do his best to stop Poke Archer from taking this turret. But revisiting that top lane 1v1, Standby gets taken out here. Oh, we see a big ult coming out from Threshold Day as Lulu had to flash away from it. Uh-oh. Standby ends up TPing back top lane and takes out Noob's Gwen. see CC Star having to use the Aurora R to end up escaping that. Wait, hold up. What? The Hull Breaker on Jinx? Interesting. Okay. Interesting. Poke Archer is just doing whatever he wants on this Sejuani. It's absolutely insane how many ults he's landed and how many times he's set up kills for his team. I'm still kind of thrown off on this Hullbreaker tech coming out by Bori here. Does it? It never ever, it doesn't lose effectiveness when teammates are near it, so I guess when he's sieging, it does work really well. The Poke Archer doing his best to try and run away. We got Crackler ends up coming in, flashing for the ult as Threshold A lands the Seraphine ult as well to take him out. But with 6 grubs and this Hullbreaker on Jinx, like, if you leave him alone with a turret, it's gone damn near instantly. But we see a pick coming out here to Bori. Bori is a lot tankier with this Hullbreaker here. Gets Lulu ult. And ults to take out War Initiate, but everybody ends up falling here off this invade. See if Nuke can end up taking this. Seraphine ends up getting the kill off of Kassadin here. Kassadin's almost at that point where he's got a fully upgraded Roa and Seraphs here. Poke Archer over chases CC Star's Aurora. She's done a very good job using the ult to backpedal and escape. Kassadin just takes out this Gwen yet again. This Kassadin even has a book, a Magi's. Couldn't think of the name. I want to call it the Book of Ashanti. There's a second. For anybody who gets that reference. At 6 kills to 18, we do see Insane Banana having a dragon up. But they're unfortunately down about 10,000 gold here to the side of TK Gamers. So they've made it difficult for TK to really try and end this game, but we see TK Gamers here posturing for this Baron here. Poke Archer uses this opportunity to turn, but here comes the Seraphine ult out. Aurora already ends up getting comboed with it. You got Swain looking at it, but oh my god, Kassadin flashes into the back line and takes out Seraphine quite easily. We see them kiting out the Swain ult, so Swain no ult now. But where's the damage kind of come from, and where's the pick to get to this Jinx? This Bori ends up kiting out, gets the double kill, and this is going to end up being the triple kill here. This Bori is now 10-1 on this Jinx here. So Bori having himself a really, really standout game. The whole team of TK gamers, after losing game 2, responding very, very well in this game 3. And that's 3 items now onto Bori. This Hull Breaker is making just insanely way too much sense here. Like, I wonder if that's something he's just been trying, or where he find this out at, because like that's 500 HP on a Jinx. Like, that Jinx is gonna be fairly tanky, especially with Lily behind him. And it works against monsters too, correct? Against epic monsters, yeah. Oh, but we see Noob ends up face checking, and Pogarcher's right there. Big Seraphine ult, or Initiate ends up diving the back line and getting a really good ult, but he ends up falling to Bori here as Bori gets excited. But then the rest of the team comp takes out Pogarcher and Relentless quite easily. But I don't think Cassidy really found a way to get into that fight. So we'll see what this Cassidy ends up trying to do here. As Flame Dog ends up just getting in his face. And it ends up being CC onto CC Star here. And they take out CC Star, but there's Bori ends up arriving with an ult here to get excited. And takes out Crackler and takes out Noob as well, so Bori again. Seems like every time they think they want to fight, Bori ends up getting taken out. Oh my. Nice reactions by Bori there. A really nice idea by Flame Dog. That's twice where I felt like that where like Jinx ends up getting so low that I just look at this Hull Breaker and I'm like, was that the difference? Let's see, ADC mains Reddit Standy told me to do it. Jeez. I mean, it's smart. I gotta give it to him, and I really don't think AD carries have had like the biggest 5-head moves, especially when it comes to builds. I mean, take Zeri's release, for instance, when, you know, it was Titanic, Hydra, Rune-ins. Everybody was saying the champion was bad, and then that build popped up. But, I mean, this is making a lot of sense here. This is a relatively cheap item, too. It sells for 21, yeah. Okay. I mean, when you get that far ahead, though, on Jinx, I think anything outside of tank items kind of works. AP too, but it looks like they're gonna take this tower down and then corner Noob's win here. But Noob ends up getting one back in the form of CC Star. We see the Seraphine ult end up coming out as Crackler tries to go forward here. And they're onto this Jinx, but they cannot kill this Jinx here. It's just this Jinx is spacing so well and they can't get to her. I'm just gonna title this game Hullbreaker Diff. Like, this Jinx is so insanely tanky. But it's really hard to like judge it 1-to-1 because they don't have a real AD carry here. This Jinx just melts turrets. Oh my. I mean, like, even more than usual. This looks like an end angle for TK gamers here. As TK gamers ends up taking game 3, 36-14. At a 14,000 gold lead on the side of Bori being 14-1. And Standby being 13-3 on this Kassadin. This Kassadin was such a good pick here. Actually insane. So, All in all, really, really solid showing by both teams, respectively. Um, I like what TK Gamers did first game into that funnel jungle strategy, but I gotta give it up to Insane Banana. Like I know they like cooking, I know they like their unique strategies, but they end up taking a game off TK, just a standard game with their type of draft and Bessa jungle, Nautilus mid. So really good showing. TK Gamers ends up improving to 2-0. Insane Bananas being 0-2. But really, really good week 2 games from these teams. So all in all, hope you guys had a lot of fun watching this. This was a very entertaining series overall. And for those playing Clash later tonight, good luck. And we will see you guys tomorrow. I believe I am covering the Ghost T1 series. Let me double check. Team Ghost versus Cal Poly. Oh, that's going to be an exciting series. See what the Team Ghost has since their full lineup is back. They had a sub in the mid lane week 1, and Cal Poly took an exciting series week 1, but they looked really, really coordinated. So I think it's going to tell a lot for those two teams when it comes to the Group C standings. So hope everybody has a good night, and we'll see you next time.